Hi, my name is Robert. This video is designed to give you step-by-step detailed instructions on completing the task at hand. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. Hey, this is Robert, and I just wanted to kind of let you guys know about a recent purchase I did when trying to improve my TV reception at my apartment in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Recently, I was at my daughter's place in Cincinnati, and she had literally one or two channels at her location. So I got on eBay and found this long-range TV antenna, which they're normally good for short range too. And I think anything over 35 miles is long range. Anything within maybe 20 to 35 miles is medium range. Anything under 20 miles is probably short range. But at any rate, you can get free HD TV with just about any antenna. But if you want to get those channels to come in stronger and crisp clear without any dropouts or anything during weird times, you may want to get a better antenna. I don't watch that much TV, but when I do watch it, I enjoy it in HD. You get HD sound, HD picture, which very few paid TV services offer. You have to have something like satellite or another fiber optic type of service to get HD sound and HD picture. At any rate, certain times of the day, I would have dropouts in a couple of my primary channels, and I got tired of that. So I'm going to show you a video of the signal. Maybe you'll be able to see the signal strength that I was getting on different channels during the evening time. And like I said, I was experiencing some dropouts. I wanted to eliminate that, so I purchased this antenna from eBay. Again, I want to emphasize that a set of rabbit ears will allow you to pull in HD TV. If you're positioned just right, you could get them crisp, clear, high, strong signal. But if you're in compromised locations like I am, if you look that way from my balcony, the end of the building interrupts, kind of blocks the antenna towers. They're just behind that edge of the building. So if you have rabbit ears and you're behind a wall, behind another wall, behind another wall, inside the house, your reception is going to be somewhat hampered and your signal may not be optimum. So I decided to go with this outdoor antenna that I could use outdoors or indoors. I can actually keep this antenna indoors, located in a good spot, or in my attic, and get awesome reception with this antenna, because one, it's a larger antenna, more designed for bringing in signals, and it also has a booster that came with it. The assembly of the antenna was pretty simple. When I got it, it came in a box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 UHF rings were laying in the box, separated. There's screws that go in them, little black screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little black screws. So with that rod out of the assembly, that rod is secured by one longer silver screw there. The rod is laying aside. You take these, you slide them over the aluminum pole here. The pole had pilot's holes in them. There's Phillips screws. They were easy to put in. And according to the picture on the box, it's best if these rings can be manipulated in a fashion like that, away from the antenna base. So every one of these rings has a joint in it, and they all pivot that way. So when you slide them on this aluminum rod before you screw them down, make sure that they're positioned in that fashion, and then tap the 5 screws in there with a Phillips screwdriver, and that's very easy to get those on that rod. Once all the rings are attached to this flat piece of the rod, you slide that rod into the antenna base until it stops. It was not hard at all. You screw that screw in there. It's a longer metal screw, and that part of the antenna is assembled. Next, you had two more pieces to the antenna. You had the rotator module and the pole adapter clamp. The rotator module took four somewhat short screws that screwed it into the antenna base, one in each corner, and then the pole mount screwed on top of it. And it had four of those metal screws. So you had 8 of those standard metal screws, one longer metal screw, and 5 black screws. That was it for the assembly process of getting the antenna together. These are the instructions that came with the antenna. It's not difficult to assemble it, and the instructions are somewhat easy to follow. It only took me about 10 minutes to get it all together. Now the base of the antenna and the rear wings of the antenna are made to pick up VHF signals, while the front part of the antenna, the smaller part, is designed to pick up UHF channels. At any rate, you put it together. Now you're ready to hook up the cable portion to the antenna. Now this is a unidirectional antenna. If you live out, I say long range from a major metropolitan area, say 35 miles or more, you can get this antenna to pull in your channels better and get a sharper, crisp picture. It's hard if you're in a valley, but if you're on a plain or on a hillside, you could point this thing to a particular town or city and pull in those channels really good. Now this one has a base that has a rotator on there. I have a remote control, and I have a button on my booster that I push and hold in, and it actually makes this base rotate. So when I mount this antenna to some kind of pole assembly, this will allow me to point this antenna toward the town or city that I want to tune in the stations for. So if you're in a state like Ohio, where there are several cities around, and you're maybe between Cincinnati and Columbus, you could actually set this thing on the pole, point it towards Cincinnati, tune in those channels, point it toward Columbus, tune in those channels, and get the both of those worlds. If you are out in the country and there's TV antennas located in 2 directions, an example of that would be, I lived in an area of Little Rock, Arkansas. Some of the channels was in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Some of the channels was being broadcast from an area called Chenal Mountain. I could take this antenna, tune in all the channels on Chenal Mountain, then I could rotate it to Pine Bluff, tune in all of those channels, and anytime I had a difficulty pulling in a channel from another location, I could rotate this antenna toward that city and get a clearer picture of those TV stations. So once the antenna is assembled, it came with a couple of cables, a short cable that went from the box to the TV, and a long cable that goes from the antenna to the control box booster assembly, which may have been a 50-foot cable. At any rate, it came with a boot. If you mount it on the outside, you slide that boot over the cable, you screw that cable in there, you put the boot up against the bottom of the antenna, and it becomes a weatherproof connection there. This antenna is being sold as an outdoor antenna. Typically on outdoor antennas, I'm accustomed to seeing those antennas come with a grounding wire. So you may want to find a screw or something to screw a ground wire on, or ground the pole that you hook this up to, but if it's outside, it's prone to lightning strikes. Lightning strikes on an ungrounded antenna will more than likely make its way to your TV set and damage it. So if you have a metal pole, you want to get that grounded in the ground or to some grounding source. If you don't have a metal pole, you want to ground something of this antenna to a grounding source so it don't pull in electricity spikes from lightning strikes or something and damage your equipment. Again, this has a pole mount. The pole looks like an inch diameter pole will be ideal. What you can do is mount this outside, put it on the pole, put it on the roof of your house, put it in your attic somewhere where you can attach this to a pole. Now, I'm in an apartment complex that does not like people mounting things on the outside. I have a mild overhang here from the patio up above with some lattice type work. So what I'm considering doing is making a U-shaped pole that I will screw on the inside of this woodwork, take it up to the ceiling, bring it across the depth of my antenna, and then bring the pole back down so that I can slide my antenna on that pole upside down like this. Slide it up there, secure it on that pole that's U-shaped, and point it in the direction that I need it so that my antenna is somewhat tucked away into the lattice type work that my apartment complex has. I'll do that, take the risk of them complaining about it, but chances are they probably won't see it or notice it unless they're standing right under my patio area. From there, I'll run the cable through the wall there and to my booster box. I had this thing mounted last night. I actually had an old floor lamp with a pole that did not work. So I took the lamp assembly off the top. I slid the antenna down on top of that lamp assembly. I set the lamp assembly out here in the corner here of the patio, and I aimed the antenna towards where the mountain is broadcasting 90% of my TV stations, and I tuned it that way. And in the next part of this video, you'll actually see the difference in the signals between before and after the antenna was installed. Now, with the rabbit ears, I was able to tune in 42 channels, 20 of which were crisp clean, and maybe 10 of which were HD, not necessarily crisp clean because they sometimes had dropouts. But with the antenna hooked up, I went from 42 channels to 58 channels. Every single channel was crisp clear and had 10 bars on the signal reception. According to AntennaWeb, my antenna should be pointed about 35 degrees. Most of the channels is up on the mountain. My broadcast signal is approximately 13 miles from my location, so I really didn't need a long-range antenna. Nonetheless, this antenna with the booster gave me all of my channels that I was looking for crisp clean. Now there is 2 channels that's opposite side of my building, and I could not get any signal on those 2. In that case, the antenna would need to be mounted on the roof of the building in order to bring those in. So if you're in an apartment complex like I am, and you're opposite side of the building than all of these broadcast stations, you may have a very difficult time bringing in these channels unless you have some kind of echo wall across from you. My mother-in-law is on the opposite side of this building, so typically she cannot pull in any channels that are not that are on the other side of the building, but I may take this antenna over to her side of the building and see if I can tune in channels for her. And it would be channels that would be echoing off the buildings behind us. Well, like I said, because of the time that I put this thing together, it was not convenient for me to actually make the video showing you how to actually assemble it, but I think my instructions were pretty easy for you to follow, so you should be able to get this thing together without any problems. If you have any questions, let me know. Now, I paid I would say modest price for this antenna. I think it was somewhere around $30 shipped. So as long as this company is available and has some of these, they were out of Springdale, Arkansas, buy all you can, because this antenna is an awesome deal. I've seen, I thought low-grade indoor antennas for the price that I paid for this high-powered outdoor antenna. As far as mounting goes, again, you can mount it on a pole of some sort. I see some kind of slot on the back of it. You can probably manufacture or find a bracket that you can attach there and hook it onto on a pole or a tree or the side of a building of some sort. And you get this thing mounted. I actually carried mine back inside because I didn't have my mounting apparatus prepared for out here. And even taking it inside, I took it just inside the patio doors, faced it toward the glass in the direction of the broadcasting towers, and my signals dropped by maybe 20-30%. Even at that 20-30% drop, they were still twice as powerful as they were before I purchased and programmed the TV to use this antenna. Again, if you want free HD TV and you would like to experience the crisp, clean picture that your flat panel can produce with an outdoor antenna, even if you use it indoors, this is a good buy, and the antenna worked flawlessly in my opinion. The only thing that didn't happen was I could not see the power button on the box when I flipped the switch on. So here's the antenna inside the patio door pointing outside toward the mountain, and that's the pole that I have it mounted on. Here's the remote control that came with it, and pushing these two buttons makes it change directions, pointing it towards the broadcasting towers that I want to aim the antenna to. And here's the control box. As I said, when I turn the power on, I don't get a power light there, but I do get a power light here. And you can also use this button to make the antenna rotate, and when you push it, you get a light letting you know that the antenna is rotating. So let me let you watch the antenna rotate as I push the button. So I push the button, and there you can see the antenna rotating. So I'll let it go, I'll push it, and it rotates the other way. Okay, so we're going to check the signal strength on these, the air antenna that I've been using, and then the air antenna that I just got. So you go menu, you go channel, you come down to signal strength, and as you can see, the signal strength of this channel is 2468. That's channel 2. So let me hit each channel signal strength so you can see it. Here I'm back on channel 2, and I have a full 10 bar signal. Here's the signal strength to channel 4, and it's 246, bouncing between 6 and 7. Here I'm on channel 4, and it looks like I have a full 10 bar signal. Here's the signal strength to channel 9. It's got a solid 2 bars, a little bit of distortion. Here I'm on channel 9. I have a full 10 bar signal. Here's the signal strength to CBS. It's bouncing between 4 and 5. Pretty clear, not really any distortion. And this is 8:30 at night, so the signal strengths have all changed. Here I'm on 13. I have a full 10 bar signal. It just seems like everything is full strength right now. Let me check the list, see what my channel list says it tuned in before. Channel list, all channels. These are all the channels that I'm supposed to have. Yeah, I got a 47.1. Let me count these real quick. 24. So I got 24 and 18. Let me rescan and see if I pick up any more channels or lose any. I'm gonna run the auto programming with the new antenna hooked up and see how many channels I get. Okay, I had 42 channels. Now I'm up to, I believe it said 58 channels. I got 3 pages. I did get that. Did not get channel 46. That one is on the other side of my building, which is a Fox channel. Trying to get up to these other pages here. Wow. Yep, I got 3 pages of channels now. This antenna definitely has helped me pull in strong, clear signals for my HD picture and sound. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.